Live from Uvalde, Texas, the crossroads of Texas and America.
Texas Country at the Crossroads with Robert Miguel.
The best new country from the Lone Star State.
Hello, there we go. Broadway 3, we're live. 100 East Main Street. I'm Robert Miguel, your host for Texas Country at the Crossroads. We're right here at the crossroads of highways 83 and 90, two of the most beautiful, longest highways in the great USA and, of course, the great state of Texas. And one who I'm sure has traveled either or many times. I got from Austin, Texas, Mr. K.C. Beck. Welcome,
Thanks
sir.
for bringing me.
So thanks for coming out here to Uvalde, man. I know when you got here, you were like, so what are you doing in Uvalde? As if to say, like, what are you doing here, man?
It's off the beaten path, man. It reminds me of home, but there's usually a story behind, being this far out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at most of that story is you're just born here.
Yeah.
So I was born here, left, came back. And a lot of older people do that, I think. Just kind of come back home. So where are you? You're in Austin now, but where are you actually from?
So combination of places. I was in Denver as a kid, then I moved to Montrose, Colorado, which is off the beaten path.
Montrose.
And then
Sammy Hagar.
The other Montrose. And then Kearney, Missouri, which is where Jesse James the Outlaw was from. So there's kind of that outlaw spirit. Some of my original songs were about Jesse James and stuff like that. And then I got to Fort Hood and spent a couple years in Iraq.
No. So before we get into that now, I mean, it sounds like you're a military man.
Yes.
Were you a military brat too? Is that why?
No, I was a
that's a lot
military
of movement.
grandchild.
Oh,
military
okay.
grandchild.
Gotcha.
My grandpa was pretty active in the Foreign Legion, and my other grandpa was commander of the American Legion of New Jersey for 2 years.
Wow.
He was the commander of New Jersey. So I got a pretty military history there, and then it skipped a generation, and then I just...
Your dad's like, phooey.
Yeah. And then 9/11 hit, and it was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Interesting. Wow. So what was it that made you? Was it 9/11? Was that the inspiration? Just seeing?
Yeah, it was 9/11.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I watched it, and I was like, well, I got a year and a half, and then seeing the recruiters, and kept trying, and then finally, 2003, my dad let me join.
So I have a younger brother that's probably about your age, and he was also inspired around that 9/11 time. I think that a certain generation did reinvigorate a certain love and pride for America, which we really needed at the time, and which we could really need again right now. Interesting stuff. So let's go and talk about that military journey. And first of all, let me start by saying thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I got to Fort Hood, and originally I thought, when I heard Hood, I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to South Carolina Airborne. They're like, no, you're going to Texas. And I was like, oh, I'm going to Texas Airborne. They're like, no, there's no airborne there.
Right.
I was like, there's the cavalry and there's the infantry. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to Fort Hood, I guess. So anyway, I get down here. It's 80 degrees on February 2nd, 2005. And I was like, well, what's there to do here? And then I find out about Austin. And in Missouri, I know about Nashville, I knew about New York, and I knew about LA, but I really didn't know about the Austin music scene.
Right.
Until a couple buddies were like, let's go to Austin. We went a couple times, and then I started getting into recording here in Austin. Then I'd go to Nashville to record. And I got a little bit of attention, but then the closest I got was Broken Bow Records, and then it was like, oh, you're in the military? And then it was like, oh, sorry, you're under contract. We got to cut ties. And then it was like, okay, what do I do now? And then
wow. Well, let's talk about that. I mean, so prior to joining the military, how involved were you already within the music scene? Were you already a singer-songwriter?
Yeah, my dad did this. My dad had he knows all the players, so to speak, in Kansas City, and I was planning on going down that path, and I planned on going to Nashville or LA or something like that. And it just, the military is the way I went, and I was like, oh, I'll do the military thing, and then I'll go do music, which... probably should have gone in reverse, but hey, it is what it is.
But no, the military guys and gals, they love their music too.
Yeah.
So you kind of got a cool, unique spot in not only being in the military, but performing for the military as well too, right?
I did it all the time.
Yeah.
In Iraq, I even ran the MWR at times, or I was the alternate guy to run the MWR at Talil, and then Balad, and some of the coolest things is on Blood, me and this other girl used to sing Evanescence of all songs.
Wow.
And it was like we do this 2-part duo thing, and it was like, I remember the entire PX parking lot at Blood, which was, it was about a quarter-mile wide. It was just full of nothing but soldiers and contractors and even Iraqis, and they were all jamming out. And it was like, it was cool to see everybody holding up lighters and, in Iraq of all places, and
right.
I don't know where that video went. If I could ever get it, that'd be great. But
that would be awesome, right?
It was a cool thing to do on a regular basis.
Isn't it crazy that era is just long enough to where not everybody had a phone and a camera in their pocket. Now there's video of everything now.
I had a camcorder at the time that I bought in Iraq,
right.
and it was like, we took a little video, but
you just said the word camcorder.
Camcorder,
right?
yeah.
Crazy?
No, it was a digital camcorder too.
It's
but yeah,
crazy.
it was like. Yeah, it was just right at that era, and then it's like I come back, and the coolest thing was I get back and I find out I knew about Blackberries, I knew about, I didn't know what an Android was, I didn't know what an iPhone was. I was like, okay, so an iPhone, is that like an iPad? And they're like, no, it's like an iPod, but it's a phone. And I was like, wait, what? And I was like, no, like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah, you can talk on it. I was like, so then it was like my wife bought me one. It was like, but 2 years there, they were in existence. Well, I had no clue.
Let's get into that then. You've been married for how long, and how long of this journey has she been here with you?
She's been so I met her while I was on vacation from Iraq. I was a contractor in Iraq. I was a youngest safety manager in Iraq at the time, or a safety officer, and I came back on vacation, met her, and then we kept in touch the whole 6 months I went back to Iraq. And actually, I was on the phone, and it was like one of those, trying to think of the other guy, the sniper guy, and it was like, I'm on the phone and we're getting bombed, and she's like, what was that? I was like, oh, a door slammed in the other room, and it's like, she's like, I know that was a bomb, and I'm like, no, it wasn't a bomb, and it's like, I gotta go, and I was like, so I hang up, and then it turned out a Black Hawk helicopter crashed in my yard, and I'm like going around the base to get to it and just check in, and it skipped the fence, and then most of those guys survived, but a few didn't. It was a weird night, and then I come back, I'm like, yeah, no, nothing happened, and it's like, and then it's on the news the next day, and she's like, I know it happened. And I was like, yeah,
it must be so hard. First of all, you're scared off out of your britches yourself, but then to keep the ones that you love kind of at bay and reassure them that everything's okay, even though, again, you're probably scared out of your mind as well, too.
Actually, by that point, I had been there 32 months or roughly 30 months, so I was actually at the point, it was like, mortars would go right over the top of me, and I'd be telling people
at that point.
Yeah, I'm like telling people, hey, get your hard hat or get your cap pod on your helmet, and they're like, you don't have yours. I'm like, I'm in charge. Get your, and it's like, and I'm ignoring every rule. So it's.
Now let me say this. Now, I mean, I've spoken to a few veterans and musician veterans as well too. You're a pretty lively, upbeat guy, and I've noticed a lot of vets tend to seem a little bit more serious, a little darker. How do you maintain your high spirits?
Well, I'm okay. So I have a lot of injuries, but I'm always really excitable. Plus, I'm a safety guy, so I'm the guy that everybody wants to talk crap to, and it was like, and that's what I do. I mean, I talk it back. I have to be able to, or you just can't, and especially I work with huge contracts, so I have to be able to joke back with people. So that's how I kind of keep up with it, and I get practice from all my guys. So.
Very good, man. Well, again, we've got Casey Beck here. He came in from Austin, made the lovely trip down to Uvalde with $4 gas these days, and that's a whole other interview we could get into. But we appreciate you making the trek down here to do our Friday Night Live. Like I mentioned at the top, I believe this is your second time to play, right?
Yeah, it's the second time.
Did you play here, or was it the Hangar 6?
I played at the Hangar 6, and it was pretty cool. Post-COVID, well, kind of.
There's those planes you were looking for that you didn't get to.
Yeah, it was like kind of post-COVID, but not. And it was pretty cool, at least getting out there. Yeah. It's like I got a little more practice. I mean, you're never practiced enough, but it was fun, It gave me, kind of got me back out there.
It's a cool little spot out there.
It's real cool.
So let's go ahead and play a song, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about where exactly you've been and where you're going as far as getting out on the road and doing these shows. So again, Casey Beck, he's performing here tonight at Broadway 830 at 100 East Main Street from 7 to 10 p.m.-ish. And come on out here and enjoy some delicious artisan pizza. They've got cold craft beer. I suggest the Beer Flight. It's a pretty awesome dealio. They've also got their April drink specials, which if I hate to interview do the interview, but I might just knock out those drink specials too because they're actually pretty creative, and it's early April, so I've got to get them in my brain. But let's go do a song called Hicks from the Sticks. This is one that we're playing currently for me right now. Give us a quick background on this song.
So this song was kind of a joke. I got a buddy who's got a young daughter who's about 16. It was like I was going through some of the things, and he used to street race out in this, out in the country and stuff, and I was like, I'm going to write a song about him, and I did.
Hold my beer kind of stuff,
kind of
right?
a hold my beer, it's a hold my beer kind of song, but it's also got that element of, he's got a young daughter who's coming of age, and was like, so I wrote the song, and, my daughter's quite a few years behind that, so I get to look forward to eventually having that, shotgun on the porch moment. But,
right.
it's a pretty good song for that.
It is a fun song, lyrically, really creative and witty. And then musically, I'm going to talk about that after we're done. But check it out. This is Casey Beck, Hicks from the Sticks. He might just perform it tonight here at Broadway 830. This is UvaldeRadio.net.
Just pay for Friday night. Where I come from, there's a lot of guys thinking that they're gonna get some tonight. Where I come from, the bills are piled up like beat up rust old cars. But it's always a good time if you don't wind up behind bars. Now we might live our lives a little slower, sing our songs a little lower, make our money on that mower. There's a new girl in town, we're gonna know her. 'Cause we're just hicks from the sticks, we ain't never gonna get rich. Keep pumping that fist, try to impress chicks. If the cops come around, you know you better plead the fifth. And you know that's all you find down here. It's from the sticks. It's from the sticks. Where I come from, there's a lot of dads sitting on the porch on Friday night. Where I come from, there's a poor old boy that better get her home tonight. Where I come from, if the porch lights off, you can bet there'll be a fight. But it's always a good time if you don't wind up behind bars. Now we might live our lives a little slower, sing our songs a little lower, make our money on that mower. There's a new girl in town, we're gonna know her. 'Cause we're just hicks from the sticks, we ain't never gonna get rich. Keep pumping that fist, trying to impress the chicks. If the cops come around, you know you better plead the fifth. And you know that's all you'll find down here. Yeah, you know that's all you'll find down here. Man, you know that's all you'll find down here. It's from the sticks. If you don't wind up behind bars, we're just hicks from the sticks, we ain't never gonna get rich. Keep pumping that fist, trying to impress chicks. If the cops come around, you know you better plead the fifth. And you know that's all you'll find down here. Yeah, you know that's all you'll find down here. That's all you find in here. It's from the sticks.
Texas Country at the Crossroads with Robert Miguel, featuring the best country music from the Lone Star State. Live from Uvalde, Texas, the crossroads of Texas and America.
That's right. We are live at Broadway 830 100 East Main Street, getting ready for Friday Night Live. A live performance by Mr. Casey Beck out of Austin. And we just heard his one of his earlier tracks called Hicks from the Sticks, which I just get a kick out of hearing it every time it comes on the radio, man. It's just a fun song, very kind of Texan friendly, but you're not necessarily from Texas, but you're from the Sticks,
yeah,
right?
No,
so
I'm from the Sticks.
Universally applies pretty much all
yeah.
that stuff, right? So as I was telling you, in between talk breaks here, I really love the production of that song, in particular the guitar work is really pretty rocking for a country song. Go ahead and give us all the details on the recording process and where you got the song and all that stuff.
So I wrote the song here in Texas, and then I work with a guy out of House of David, which is David Briggs. He was one of the Swampers, moved to Nashville, and my guy Brandon started working there, and Brandon's been my producer the last couple years, and we've just knocked out. I mean, we've got like 20 different songs that we've done. I also do a little bit of stuff that's going to come out with Kevin Aerosmith.
Now, was this a co-write with Brandon, or is it just
Brandon
totally you?
I played it, and then I sent it to Brandon, and Brandon just kind of juices it up. He's like, most of the song sounds the same way. It's just he adds in little fills and leads. The fiddle on that song, though, is Larry Franklin, who is, I mean, he did Shania Twain stuff. I mean, he's the fiddle god.
And that fiddle sounds great. The placement,
amazing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just adds that little flair to the song. I mean, honestly, the song wouldn't be the same without it.
No, it wouldn't. And it's, Larry Franklin just, man, he made it amazing.
So that process from whenever you're just kind of strumming it on a guitar, more than likely, to hear that smoking guitar lead and that cool fiddle, fill. What is that like to hear that product? You know what I mean? When you finally get, the guy that puts the whistles and the bells on it.
Brandon's the man. That's why I go to Brandon. And I mean, I've shopped him out, but Brandon's just, he takes what I want and he makes it sound the way I want it. And that's awesome. That's what a producer should do. And the other guy I work with, because I don't want to totally discredit or not credit him, is I also work with one of Luke Bryan's guys, Kevin Aerosmith, and he did some stuff. I don't remember if he did any on that song, but he's done some on my more recent songs, Homeland Security for one, and then I've got a few others that are going to come out, and Kevin Aerosmith's another guy. Oh, the mandolin. He did it on the Hicks from the Sticks. He played all the mandolin stuff, and that little bit of mandolin really kind of broke the song up and made it just...
And I think that's what I appreciate about the song in particular is that it's got so much going on.
Yeah.
Like the production sounds it sounds very rock.
Yeah,
because
it is.
there's a whole lot of things, a lot of pieces. You can just listen to it and you'll hear something kind of new every time. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So is that kind of, I guess with that kind of production team, is that the way you like your stuff to sound, or do you ever do
I
anything
just
that's a
play
little
with
bit
it. I mean, I've been Jonathan Paycheck described it as experimental country. I mean, his dad's Johnny Paycheck, so I guess, and it kind of is. I mean, it's got some influence of rock, a little metal, a little country, some blues on some songs, and then even there's some elements of techno, and I don't know how they got there, but they got there because my brain's just whizzing at all times, just moving around, and it just flows,
Now, obviously, the you're here with you and the guitar. The songs are production amazing.
Yeah.
Can't really pull that off, just you and a guitar live. So let's go and get into the live shows. Do you have a band that you kind of have a go-to group of guys, or is it just you and the guitar?
I have a band that we were playing. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to get more shows, and
Tough
we'll see how it
times
goes.
post-COVID, trying to catch up.
Well,
right.
and then you got so many guys that are wanted right now, and it's so many artists that are trying to get out there. So my guys are playing with different people, and we'll see. Hopefully, we meet back around and start playing some shows. But everybody right now is trying to get out, and that's just how the Texas scene is right now.
No, it's definitely kind of a major reset, as you could say. A lot of people had to find alternate ways to work or income, or find, if your band lead is not working, then you have to go either go do a solo thing or go hired gun for somebody else.
We got major label, like these guys had to be working for the majors because they took a horrible guitar that was just a Squire and made it amazing. And it was like, dude, he's like, no, I'm telling you, these guys are really good. And I'm like, no, wait. And they have to be technicians for somebody really high up, because I'm like, whatever they did with this guitar, man, it sounds just as good as the custom Tellys that I've played. I mean, it's
awesome.
amazing.
So you might not have an answer for this, but what is the immediate plans for you as far as doing shows? Looking to regroup the band, or just kind of keep on, I'm
going to keep doing my thing. I mean, I've got it set up. I like doing my acoustic shows. I've got a bunch of songwriting I'm doing. Another guy who's kind of taken me under my wing and who's helped me out a lot is Lee Popa, who was, he's gone platinum like 33 times.
Wow.
Everywhere from White Zombie to Rob Zombie to Macy Graves, of all people. But he's just a really good mentor, and they're with Color Red Music. And Lee Popa has been helping me out with some stuff, and at some point we hope to regroup. He's got some stuff going in Colorado and in Iceland, and guys just been really helpful, and hopefully down the road we're going to work together.
Now, it seems like you've got a lot of different people kind of on your team, different. So how does that fit into your overall, I guess, whatever your plan is? Because the Texas country scene specifically is kind of its own kind of in a box, and I'm not trying to say to be critical, but if you're a little too influenced by outsiders, you may not be as embraced as you could be, same thing with like the Nashville scene, so it's like, are you just kind of doing your own thing? And
I'm doing my own thing. I mean, the other song, The Machinist, I have the reputation of being the Alice in Chains country guy, and I'm like, well, I liked Alice in Chains. I guess it kind of inspired that song, but The Machinist just, it was on the charts, and it's its own little thing, and no other country song out there sounds like it, and it's country, but it's its own thing, and it's like, I don't know, I'm probably going to be like Leadbelly, dead for 50 years, and they're going to go, that guy had something
he was
going.
A genius.
Yeah, or they're going to be like, no, this was horrible, and I don't know, it's going to be one or the other, but I think I'm doing my own thing, and we'll see where it goes.
Well, we got another song for you called Redneck Homeland Security. Before we get into that, give us an idea as to what your live show is going to be like this evening here at Broadway 830.
It's going to be mostly country, but I do kind of a rock country sound, and it'll sound a lot like my songs. I mean, that's how I play them. I can't do it the full band because I don't have a full band, but they'll sound a lot like songs.
So you're going to do some original stuff, a couple of covers.
Yep.
How it is? If you somebody that's never seen you walked in,
about half and half.
Cool. Yeah. That's nice. A little mix of it. And you tell like road stories, or I mean, you seem like you're a very like I said, energetic, likable kind of guy. Do you have stories? And
I got different stories. I mean, I just kind of shoot from the hip and tell different stories about stuff. So yeah,
very cool.
Kind of with the song.
Well, very good. Again, we got Casey Beck here. He made the trip all the way down from Austin, and he's performing live tonight here, Broadway 830. Again, the address is 100 East Main Street. I do not have those drink specials, that I promise, but I'm going to try to get those here pretty soon. But meanwhile, while I'm doing that, check out his song called Redneck Homeland Security. Give us a quick idea as to what this song's about.
So this song was written by David Banning, and Cody Jinks did the demo like 10 years ago and kept saying, I'm going to do it for David. And then Dave's like, hey, I got this song. And I was like, he pitched it to me, and I'm like, dude, I love it. And I didn't even realize it was Cody Jinks. I'm like, this guy sounds a lot like me. I mean, I don't know what it is.
Wow.
And I was like, and then so I did it, and then I realized it's Cody Jinks after I had already been playing with it for a while. And so I cut it, and this song also has Larry Franklin on it and a bunch of other players. I mean, it's I can't remember some of the other players, but really good song. And Larry Franklin did great on it. The harmonica player, who I can never think of his name, he did an amazing job. I mean, it's one of the best harmonica in country songs that anybody's heard in a while. And I mean, Nashville guys are like, the guy did really good with the harmonica. I'm like, yeah, man, he did as good as I did singing, man. It's great,
Very nice. Hey, well, Cody's name attached to it, that can't hurt either.
No, it doesn't.
So very cool. Again, Casey Beck, this is called Redneck Homeland Security, and you're hearing it here on UvaldeRadio.net.
Old Joe done dug him up a cool spot. Mama's flower bed. A passerby might take one look and assume that dog is dead. But down here in the South, that could be a costly hunch. 'Cause if the stranger stepped foot in the yard, Joe would have his leg for lunch. Ain't a dang thing wrong with the missile defense. Fighter jets and tanks make sense for the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. From the Carolina shore to the Lone Star State, people shouldn't underestimate low-tech, redneck, homeland security. On the racks in the backs of the trucks, ain't there just for show. Country boys learn to shoot lights out by the time they're 8 years old. So coming down here up to no good leaves nothing to discuss. Yeah, 911 is bound to get a call, but it won't be for us. Missile defense, fighter jets and tanks make sense for the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. From the Carolina shore to the Lone Star State, you shouldn't underestimate low-tech, redneck, homeland security. spark in a bang. Well, it lies the thread. From the Carolina shore to the Lone Star State, if you shouldn't estimate, low-tech, redneck, homeland security. It won't be any silly little signs outside, but you better believe we're protected by low-tech, redneck, homeland security. Come back now, you hear?
Live from Uvalde, Texas, the crossroads of Texas and America. Texas Country at the Crossroads with Robert Miguel.
Alrighty, we are back at Broadway, 830 100 East Main Street, downtown Uvalde. It's also Foursquare Friday, so a lot of the stores and boutiques in the Uvalde downtown area the district will be open late. Matter of fact, Edwards Furniture is open late till 8. Stop by and see them. Register to win some prizes. Also, Southern Lace Marketplace, Mi Vida, Julian's. I know that, the Sweet Life, which is one of the partners here with Skyway Entertainment, their arcade is now fully in function, and they've got the largest Miss Pac-Man game in the world. One of those big, giant, on-the-wall Miss Pac-Man games. It's fantastic. So be sure to stop by there if you're out for Foursquare Friday night. But most importantly, come grab yourself dinner and drinks at Broadway 830 and come see live music by Beck out here in the Broadway 830 patio. We just heard his song Redneck Homeland Security. Man, that was some good harmonica, like you said, man. Yeah. Great arrangement. Your voice sounds good. Let's talk about, the music that you've got coming up. What are you working on? Are you looking to release any new music here anytime soon, or?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff I'm working on, and I'm going to start delving into multiple genres. Helping out some other people with music, and we'll just see where it goes.
Now in the studio, how involved are you in that whole process?
Pretty involved. Yeah, I do all my vocals. I do all my I actually create a lot of my tracks too, and then I just have people add what I need here and there. I have my own studio at home, and I mix stuff myself, so I do quite a bit of my own stuff.
Very good.
I'll send off for session players, but the majority of it I'm doing.
So is that as far as the studio work and I guess editing, recording, is that all self-taught, or did you have anybody?
I learned it myself.
Very good, man. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, you're definitely.
Well, I'm fortunate. When I started doing it, you actually go into a studio and record.
Right.
So it's once I got past the digital side of it, it was easy learning curve.
No, you're right. Once you kind of embrace the digital thing, and it takes the price way down, first of all.
Yeah.
And if you're any good at it, then you can be definitely a DIY guy, which is really cool. And then again, like you said, kind of. Send out for the big talent, the big names, and probably afford to get some good players that way. So very cool, man. Again, we've been talking to Beck here. He's performing live tonight at Broadway 830, 100 East Main Street. Hey, drink specials, I've got them. The April specials are as follows: $3 Risky Whiskey. It's got Kentucky Deluxe, Sprite in a pint glass with cherry and lime garnish. $5 April Showers, coconut rum, watermelon, lime juice, splash of Sprite in a highball glass. Fancy. Halfway dressed with chamoy and tajin. What is it? Tajin? Tahine? My daughter knows how to pronounce it. How do you say that? Tahine. All right, so there you go. And then the $5 Spring Fling, vodka, melon, amaretto, cranberry juice in a pint glass with lemon garnish. Fancy drinks for spring. Those are the April specials here at Broadway 830. Of course, they've got the $10 beer flight, which is really, really good. So y'all come out here and enjoy some craft beer and a delicious pizza. Casey, what pizza you get? What's your go-to at pizza, man?
Usually pepperoni.
Pepperoni. We're gonna get you that good Broadway pepperoni pizza here tonight. Come out and see Casey do some originals, a few cover songs, tell a few stories. Any upcoming gigs here in the future you want to talk about that are coming up, or are we just kind of a one-off shoot? Just come out.
Right now, it's a one-off shoot.
Man,
yeah,
I'm
gonna start. I'm gonna try to do a little bit up north, talking to a few places. Maybe play back home in Kansas City. I've been focused on construction right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting ready to build the tallest building in Texas.
Let's talk about the day job, man.
So the day job, I work for a really cool ironwork company that's very they're very helpful, and They're all about family, and they let me do my music stuff. And I just got assigned the new building that's going to be downtown, 76 stories in Austin, Texas. It's going to be the tallest building in Texas.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what's gonna be in the building? Just like offices and stuff? I mean,
so there's rumor that it's going to be Google. There's rumor. I honestly cannot tell you who's going to be getting the building. We just finished up with Tesla, or most of Tesla. We've been doing some really cool buildings lately, so there's no way of knowing, to be honest.
But how cool is that to just have your name attached to some kind of landmark like that?
I just got done with the UT Stadium, and that was 2 years. My final send-off was me doing that really corny video of the Heart Will Go On, Kate Winslet thing on TikTok. Those that know what that joke was about, it was like, it was as corny as I wanted it to be because I spent 2 years there. I was tired of it.
How fantastic it must be to just be able to drive through a city somewhere and see something that you're like, hey, hey Biden, I built that.
Yeah. Anybody, I built I-35 from almost, there was a gap in there between Waco and Bruceville Eddy, but then from Bruceville Eddy all the way to Salado too. So
wow,
it's been kind of fun, the safety construction job.
Well, it sounds like rewarding work on both ends. So your musical career and your day job, your 9 to 5, or bring home the bacon thing. So, we wish you the best of luck, man, with your musical career and, of course, safety in the workplace with your construction gig. Give us details on how to find you online.
You can go to caseybeck.com. You can go to Spotify, Apple, iTunes, all of them. It's Casey, like Kansas City, or the letter Casey. Beck. I know some people think it's CASEY, but yeah, Casey, like Kansas City. But yeah, anywhere online, I'm all over all the different digital stores and YouTube,
All right, well, go find KC online. Again, that's KC Beck. And come see him live tonight here, Broadway 30, 100 East Main Street, downtown Uvalde. Get that drink special, throw a couple of bucks in Casey's jar, give him some of that gas money to get back to Austin. And we're going to wrap it up here. Play a gentleman who's performing here not next Friday, but the week after, which will be 22nd. Sound right? Friday, April 22nd, Friday Night Live, we have from Hallettsville, Eric Woodring coming through. And this guy has got a really cool, new, chill country song. Y'all check it out. This one's called Someone Made For You, brand new by Eric Woodring. Wrapping it up here at Friday Night Live, Texas Country at the Crossroads, UvaldeRadio.net. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Rolling through the night, awake until the morning light, face another lonely day. Will it always be this way? You need someone strong and true, someone who will stand by you, nothing less should ever do. You need someone made for you. I can always sympathize. Listen close and dry your eyes. But I can never understand who you really are like someone can. You need someone strong and true, someone who will stand by you, nothing less should ever do. You need someone made for you. Jealousy's a fist and glove.
you don't trust what you love. I can't believe the things you say. Will it always be this way? You need someone strong and true, someone who will stand by you, nothing less will ever do. You need someone there for you. You need someone strong and true, someone who will stand by you, nothing less will ever do. You need someone made for you. You need someone made for you. You need someone made